Hello, good morning students. How are you? I think you are quite well. Today I will discuss a new topic. What is angular velocity, time period and frequency. Now my first topic is what is angular velocity. Angular velocity. What is angular velocity? Angular velocity is defined as time rate of change of angular displacement of a particle. The time rate of change of angular displacement of a particle is called angular velocity. Its unit is radian per second and it is denoted by omega. Now, if angular displacement, suppose angular displacement of a particle is delta theta, suppose angular displacement of a particle is delta theta in time delta t, then average angular velocity is given by omega bar is equal to delta theta upon delta t. If we take time interval delta t tends to 0, then limiting value of average angular velocity is called instantaneous angular velocity. If we take time interval delta t tends to 0, the limiting value of average angular velocity is called instantaneous angular velocity, and it can be written as omega is equal to limit delta t tends to 0 delta theta upon delta t. This is equal to d theta upon dt. Now we will discuss what is time period. What is time period? The time period. What is time period? Time period. The time taken by the particle to complete one revolution along its circular path. The time taken by the particle to complete one revolution along its circular path is called time period, and it is denoted by capital T, time period, and its unit is second. The time taken by the particle to complete one revolution along its circular path is called time period. It is denoted by capital T and its unit is second. Now we will define what is frequency. Frequency. It is denoted by nu. The number of oscillation, the number of revolution per second is called its frequency, and frequency is equal to 1 upon time period. Frequency nu is equal to 1 upon time period. We can write nu is equal to 1 upon t, and unit of frequency is per second. Unit of frequency is per second. This is also known as hertz or hertz. Thus, time taken by the particle to complete one revolution Yeah, you can say the time taken, number of revolution per second is called frequency, and frequency is equal to 1 upon time period. Nu is equal to 1 upon t, and its unit is per second, or also called hertz. If I ask you what is the other name of hertz, then what will tell you? Per second. Now we will discuss what is the relation between linear velocity and angular velocity. What is relation between linear velocity and angular velocity? Relation between linear velocity v and angular velocity, v velocity, that is omega. We will derive relation between linear velocity and angular velocity. Suppose a particle is moving in a circular path, and let center angular displacement is delta theta, and particle travel from A to B and cover distance delta s in time delta t. Now we will derive relation between, consider a particle is moving in a circular path of radius r. Consider a particle is moving in a circular path of radius r. It covers distance delta s from A to B in time delta t. Therefore angular displacement delta theta is equal to delta s upon delta t. Angular displacement is equal to delta theta is equal to delta s, length of r upon radius, delta s upon r. Now divide both sides by delta t. Dividing both sides by delta t, therefore it becomes delta theta upon delta t is equal to 1 upon r delta s upon delta t. Now angular displacement per unit time is called angular velocity. Angular displacement per unit time is called angular velocity. Taking the limit delta t tends to 0. Taking limit delta t tends to 0, then it becomes limit delta t tends to 0, delta theta upon delta t is equal to 1 upon r, limit delta t tends to 0, delta t tends to 0, delta s upon delta t. Then it become, what is delta theta upon delta t? That is omega, that is angular velocity is equal to 1 upon r, and delta s upon delta t is velocity v. Since delta s upon delta t is equal to v, therefore it become omega is equal to, then it become cross multiply it, then v is equal to r omega. This this is the relation. This is the relation between linear velocity and angular velocity, where v is the linear velocity, r is the radius, and omega is the angular velocity. Now we will define new topic. What is angular acceleration? What is angular acceleration? Can you tell me what is angular acceleration? Angular acceleration. Angular acceleration. Angular acceleration is defined as the time rate of change of angular velocity. Angular acceleration is defined as the time rate of change of angular velocity is called angular acceleration. If delta omega is the change in angular velocity in time delta t, then if delta omega is change in angular velocity in time delta t, then average angular acceleration, average angular acceleration, it is denoted by alpha bar is equal to delta omega upon delta t. Now if time interval delta t tends to 0, then the limiting value of average angular acceleration is called instantaneous angular acceleration. If time interval delta t tends to 0, then limiting value of average angular acceleration is known as instantaneous average acceleration, that is alpha is equal to limit delta t tends to 0 delta omega upon delta t. This is angular acceleration. Now we will derive what is the relation between linear acceleration and angular acceleration. Relation between linear acceleration and what is relation between linear acceleration and angular acceleration? Relation between linear acceleration and angular acceleration. First, we know in the chapter of differentiation, product of two functions. How will you find product of two functions? Suppose d upon dx a into b. Then we will write, this is my first function, this is my second function. We write first function into differentiation of second plus second function into differentiation of first. Now with the help of this we can derive relation between linear acceleration and angular acceleration. First we know what is the relation between linear velocity and angular velocity. V is equal to r omega, where v is the linear velocity and r is the angular velocity, where r is constant and constant differentiation of any constant term is 0. Suppose d by dx 5 equal to 0 and radius is r is a constant. Here r is constant. Then we will differentiate it with respect to t. Then differentiate with respect to t. Then dv upon dt is equal to, this is first function and this is second function. Suppose r is a first function and omega is a second function. Then first function into differentiation of second plus second function into differentiation of first, and differentiation of constant term is 0. Then dv upon dt, rate of change of velocity is known as acceleration. A is equal to r and rate of change of angular velocity is called angular acceleration, that is alpha plus omega and into 0. dr upon dt is equal to 0. Therefore a is equal to r into alpha. Here a is linear acceleration and alpha is angular acceleration. Now we will discuss next topic. Dot product or scalar product of two vectors. Dot product or scalar product of two vectors. Dot product of scalar product of two vectors. First, we will draw the diagram. Suppose this is vector A and this is O initial point and this is Q and this represent vector B. From this is point P, OP represent vector A and OQ represent vector B. Draw QP, draw QR perpendicular to OP and let angle QOP is equal to theta. Now first we will tell you vector A and vector B. Vector A and vector B is represented by A dot B. Vector A and vector B is represented by vector A dot vector B. As read, what we read? Vector A dot vector B is a scalar and equal to, this is a scalar and equal to product of the magnitude of vector A and vector B. Product of the magnitude of vector A and vector B and cosine of the smaller angle between them. Cosine of the smaller angle between them. That is, we can write vector A dot vector B is equal to AB cos theta. Cosine of the smaller angle between them. Now geometrical interpretation of product of two vectors. How we can geometrically express it? Geometrical interpretation of dot product of two vectors. Geometrical interpretation of interpretation of dot product of two vectors. How we can represent geometrically of dot product of two vectors? We can also draw a diagram. This is my OP. This represent vector A, and we draw the perpendicular here, that is OS. This is 90 degree, and this represent Q. This is vector A, and this is A cos theta, and this is angle theta. Now first OP we will tell you geometrical interpretation of dot product of two vectors. OP represent vector A and OQ represent vector B. OP vector A and OQ vector B, and angle QOP is equal to theta. Now draw QR perpendicular to OP. Draw QR perpendicular to OP. Now its horizontal component we have already tell you is B cos theta. Horizontal component is B cos theta. Now we will tell you OR is equal to B cos theta is the projection of vector B on vector A. OR is equal to B cos theta is projection of vector B on vector A. Similarly, draw PS perpendicular to OQ. Draw PS perpendicular to OQ. Then projection of A onto B. Projection of A onto B. This is vector B. OS represent, OQ represent vector B. Then projection of vector A on vector B is A cos theta. Projection of, in second diagram, projection of vector A on vector B is A cos theta. Now we will take special cases. We discuss some special cases. Case first. What is our case first? When two vectors are parallel to each other. When two vectors are parallel to each other. Case first. when two vectors are parallel to each other, then theta is equal to 0 degree, and we know that vector A dot vector B is equal to AB cos theta. Here theta is equal to 0, therefore it becomes AB cos 0, and cos 0 is equal to 1. Therefore vector A dot vector B is equal to AB. This is case first. Now we will take second case from for unit vector I dot I is equal to unit vector J dot unit vector J is equal to unit vector K dot unit vector K, which is equal to 1. Now we will discuss second case when two vectors are mutually perpendicular. When two vectors are mutually perpendicular. When two vectors are mutually perpendicular, then theta is equal to 90 degree. Then we know vector A dot vector B is equal to AB cos theta, that is AB cos 90 degree, and cos 90 is equal to 0, that is AB into 0 is equal to 0. Vector A dot vector B. Here cos 90 is equal to 0. Now we will discuss next case when this is the second case when two vectors are mutually perpendicular to each other, then theta is equal to 90 degree. When third case when two vectors are anti-parallel. When two vectors are anti-parallel. When two vectors are anti-parallel, that is theta is equal to 180 degree, and we know vector A dot vector B is equal to AB cos 180, and value of cos 180 is -1. Therefore vector A dot vector B is equal to minus AB, since cos 180 is equal to -1. Now we will discuss properties of dot product of two vectors. What are the properties of dot product of two vectors? Properties of dot product of two vectors. We will discuss. We know here A dot B, first property, vector A dot vector B is equal to vector B dot vector A. This is commutative law. We know dot products of two vectors are commutative. A dot B dot product of two vectors is commutative. A dot B is equal to B dot A, since A dot B is equal to AB cos theta. A dot B is equal to AB cos theta, and B dot A is equal to BA cos theta. Then from first second A dot B, vector A dot vector B is equal to vector B dot vector A. Thus we can say that dot products of two vectors are commutative. Now dot product is distributive. Dot products of two vector is distributive. Dot products of two vectors are distributive. That is, we can write A dot A, vector A dot B dot C. It can be written vector A dot B plus C, which is equal to vector A dot vector B plus vector A dot vector C. Now third property, dot product of a vector with itself. Dot product of a vector with itself gives square of its magnitude. Dot product is, this is the second property, and third one is dot product vector A dot vector A. What can we write it? Vector A cos 0 and cos 0 is equal to 1, that is A square. Then what will be? Vector A is equal to under root A, vector A dot vector A. This can also be written as vector A dot vector A power 1 by 2. Now fourth property of the dot product of two vectors. Fourth property of dot products of two vector A dot lambda vector B. This can also be written as vector A dot lambda B, that is written as lambda vector A dot vector B, where lambda is a real number. Now we will give examples of dot product of two vectors. Examples of dot product of two vectors. Examples of dot product of two vectors. Let us discuss first example of dot products of two vectors. Work done W is equal to force into displacement. Work done W is equal to force vector into displacement vector. where F is the force vector and S is the displacement vector. Now second example, instantaneous power. Instantaneous power P is equal to F dot V. We have already discussed this. Instantaneous power is equal to force vector and velocity vector. Now third example is phi magnetic flux is equal to B dot A. What is phi? Phi is magnetic flux and B is a magnetic field induction vector. B is a magnetic field induction vector and A is the area vector. Thus we conclude that for dot product of two vectors I dot I is equal to J dot J is equal to K dot K. I dot conclusion, I dot I is equal to unit vector J dot J is equal to unit vector K dot K is equal to 1 and unit vector I dot J is equal to unit vector J dot K is equal to unit vector K dot I is equal to 0. Now let us solve first numerical. First numerical is a constant force. This is question 4th. A constant force F is equal to 2I plus 3J plus 4K. Newton produces a displacement, a constant force 2I plus 3J plus 4K produces a displacement of 2I plus 3J plus 4K. Displacement S is equal to 2I plus 3J plus 4K. Then what is the work done? We will find what is the work done. So work done, W is equal to F dot S. Now W is equal to F, that is 2I plus 3J plus 4K dot S, that is 2I plus 3J plus 4K. Now we know that when I dot I or J dot J or K dot K gives the result 1. So when we multiply, but when unit vector I is multiplied by unit vector J or unit vector J is multiplied by unit vector K or unit vector K is multiplied by unit vector I, then its value is 0. Therefore we can say when this is multiplied by this multiplied by this gives the result, this multiplied by this gives the result, and this multiplied by this gives the result. That is 2 to 4, I dot I is equal to 1. Then W is equal to 4 plus, when we multiply I dot J, that is 0. When we multiply I dot K, this is 0. When we multiply J dot I, this is 0. J dot J gives the result 1, but J dot K 0. Similarly, thus multiply 3J by 3J, this become 9 and J dot J is equal to 1. Similarly, 4K dot 4K 16 and k dot k is equal to 1. Thus work done is 29 joule. Work done is 29 joule. Now we will discuss next question. Question 5. Next question is if the magnitude of two vectors are 2 and 3, if magnitude of two vectors, that is magnitude of two vector A is 2, magnitude of two vectors, vector A and vector B is equal to 2 and 3. If magnitude of two vectors are 2 and 3 and the magnitude of their scalar product is 3 under root 2, magnitude of scalar product, that is vector A dot vector B is equal to 3 under root 2. Then find the angle between them. You have to find angle between them. Then we can know vector A dot vector B is equal to mod vector A, या modulus of vector A, modulus of vector B cos theta. Now vector A dot vector B, that is 3 under root 2 is equal to mod vector A, या modulus vector A 2 modulus vector B 3 cos theta. Here cos theta is equal to 3 under root 2 upon 6, 3 1 ja 3 2 ja, that is under root 2 upon 2. We shall multiply and divide by under root 2 in numerator and denominator. Under root 2 multiplied and under root 2 divided, this become 2 upon 2 under root 2. Cancel 2 that is 1 upon under root 2. Thus cos theta is equal to 1 upon under root 2. This implies cos theta is equal to cos pi by cos 45 degree, that is theta is equal to 45 degree. Thus we conclude the angle between two vectors is 45 degree. Now we will discuss next question. What is next question? This is question number 5. Question number 6. Sorry, question number 6. Question 6. Two equal forces. Suppose A is equal to force F and B is equal to force F. Two equal forces have their resultant equal to either. Either means दोनों में से एक. At what angle they are inclined? Now question is, two equal forces have their resultant equal to either. At what angle are they inclined? We know resultant vector R is equal to A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. R is equal to under root F square plus F square plus 2F cos and theta. Resultant is given F. Then F is equal to square on both sides. square on both side. Then f square is equal to f square plus 2f square plus 2f square cos theta. We will take common 2f square. F square is equal to 2f square common 1 plus cos theta. Now we will cancel f square, then 1 plus cos theta is equal to 1 upon 2 cos theta is equal to 1 upon 2 minus 1 cos theta is equal to minus 1 upon 2 cos theta is equal to cos 120 degree. This is value of 120 degree. Then theta is equal to 120 degree. What is the value of cos 120 degree? You can say minus 1 by 2. Now we will discuss next question 7. Question number 7. What is the next question? Question 7. Two forces whose magnitude are in the ratio 3:5. Two forces whose magnitude are in the 3:5. Let force A is equal to 3x and B is equal to 5x. Two forces whose magnitude are in the ratio 3:5 gives a resultant force of 28 Newton. Resultant force R is equal to 28 Newton. If angle of their inclination is 60 degree, angle of inclination, that is theta, is equal to 60 degree. Find the magnitude of each force. You have to find magnitude of each force. We know R is equal to, now we read one time more. Two forces whose magnitude are in the ratio 3:5 gives a resultant of 28 Newton. If angle of their inclination is 60 degree, find magnitude of each force. R is equal to resultant, R is equal to A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. R 28 equal to under root A square, that is 9h square, plus B square 25h square, plus 2 into 3x into 5x cos 60, and value of cos 60 is 1 by 2, that is 28 is equal to under root 9x square plus 25x square plus 2 into 3x into 5x into 1 by 2, cancel 2, then 28 is equal to 49x square. 49x square. You can write square root of 49, that is 7x, and 7x is equal to 28, x equal to 4. Then vector A is equal to 3x, that is 3 into 4. 3 into 4, that is 12, and vector B is equal to 5x. vector b is equal to 5x, that is 5 into 4, that is 20. Thank you.